Okay, now you should be able to hear me okay. I'm next to the microphone. I had to turn it around. So we are doing red layer of wash. There's two washes, red and blue. At least that's what I'm doing for this one. You can do different washes if you would like. I'm doing red and blue. Cord's in my way. I'm just checking my preemie one. Let's see. Excuse me. I don't want it to be real dark, so I'm not going to do the purple wash because this one is already dark anyway, and I do not want to have it that dark. So I modify mine a little bit. Yeah, that one's a little, let's see. I've got a couple of ones that I do. And I think I'm going to follow along with, if I need to have purple in it, I'll add purple, but if this kid was light colored, I would do the purple wash and the yellow wash, but it's going to make it so it's really dark, and I don't, the kit's already dark, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the this red wash. Because it's dark, I'm not going to use the maroon and the lighter blue. Because it's a darker kit, you have to decide on your kit when you get your vinyl which way you're going to go. I have I have two newborn tutorials I look at that I've made notes on, and then I have a preemie, newborn, it's like a preemie newborn look, and it's still the same as the other preemie one. They just do a purple wash instead of, yeah, they do a purple wash instead. They do purple, yellow, and red, and I'm not gonna do the purple. I don't think we need to. I'm just going to do the red wash and the blue wash, and we will go from there. So, and this is a dark kit anyway, so it's going to look even darker. So here's the red. Can you see the red? There's the red. And you do a little bit at a time. I do like the back of the neck, back of the ears, to kind of up in the middle of the back of the head, kind of like right here, because then we're going to do from the ear to ear. And just make sure that you pouncing it away and make sure you don't have any water build up anywhere. And that's pretty good. So now we're going to go across ear to ear, and I did to where you left off. Actually, you can tell where you left off. So I'm going to do ear to ear, inside the ear, back of the ear again, to the back of the neck, to the front of the ear. I'm just going to make it so the back side is done. And then we'll go to the front side. And you're going to do this with the limbs also. And I'm not going to film the limbs. You just do the exact same thing. And just make sure you get all the pooling of the water. You can see you just do it like that. Take all the water off. The color is going to stay, and like if you want it to really kind of sink in, you don't have to pounce it off right away. If you want it to stay, but just realize different vinyls do different things. Like the other one that I did, from here to here, for some reason the vinyl took to the red a lot more than the rest of it did. So it looks redder around the ears than the rest of it. It looks like I purposely did a lot of red in that area, and I did not. Make sure if you get a hair, you take it off. Make sure you pounce out your extra water, because this is paint and it's wet, so it will still leave red on where you're taking it off. Make sure you get inside the ear. Now I do want the ears to be a little redder than the rest of it, because it's hard to get the ears to be the right color for some reason. I have a hard time with, well, not really a hard time, but if I don't do that and add more red on the ears, then when I'm painting, so you can see the red tint. Even though this is a dark kit, you can see the red tint. They look white. So I always want to make sure I get a little more red on the ears than I would anywhere else. But that's just me, you know, that's how I paint. Maybe you do something different, I don't know. But okay, so we did this poor baby has little drops from something else that is just not. That's why it's important that you wash your vinyl really good to get all the imperfections off. It's just going to look like he has a couple of freckles, and that's fine. I don't care. Now we're going to do from front of the ear, the front of the face. See, I got all that in the ear again, so you got to make sure that you get that off. In the nose, around the eyes, and where this is open eyes, it really doesn't matter if it gets inside there, really, because the eyes are going to be in there, and you're not going to see it. But you do want to get everywhere. So, and I'm going to blend it right there. Okay, see? It looks really, really wet, so you can see the red. It's a red tint. And we're just going to bounce it off again. Just bounce away. And if you don't want texture, you don't have to rip these. You can leave it smooth if you want, because when this dries, it's going to have a little bit of a texture to it. You'll put your hand on it and it'll feel like it's a little rough. You won't per se be able to see it, but you'll be able to feel it. Get the little brush, bounce in the color in the ears, because I got it in the ears again, behind the ears, inside the eyes, eyelid, around the nose. I'd almost leave it around the nose though, but that's okay. We're not, it doesn't matter. When we get to creases, we'll address that. Okay. Make sure you get all of that. And you can see where it's wet still. I don't know if you'll be able to. I can see the red. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the red. Okay. So I don't know if you'll be able to see. So you can see the red tint. See the red tint, and you'll be able to see it against. Can you see that that's a red tint? Hopefully you can see that. So this little head is done. Let's make sure that we get any flyaway hairs that are popping up because the furnace is blowing and it's making so dust flies around. But he looks pretty good. Okay, so there's his head. Oh yeah, he's red. You can see it really good. I don't know if, yeah, you can see, I can see it really good. He's, instead of being like dark shiny, he's like got a red tint to him. So we're gonna do the rest of the limbs the same way. When you get into the feet, you're going, I'm gonna show you the front of the foot. Let me get the foot. And I don't mind if it stays really red on the foot because it's a preemie. Their feet and hands are like no circulation, so they're really purple. So you see how wet that is? See inside of the toes? I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Right here. Let's turn you so you can see. Sorry about that. All right. See the little drops? You can see the pools of red in between the toes and stuff. You don't want that. You want to make sure that when you're tapping, you get that out, and you are going to have to use a paintbrush. So when you're doing this, make sure you have an extra brush with you, preferably a fine brush, because you're going to have to get in between the underneath of these toes, and you're going to need a little brush to get that out. The only time you don't do that is when we're creasing, but it's going to be a line, and then you're going to barely take the tip of a dry brush and just tap it to get the pool of water. The color is still going to stay there. Right now we're taking it all out because it's just like staining it. Okay, it's going to be like staining it. So let's go back over here so you can see them. And here's the color. And I'm going to put it all over the kit because I want it to stain it pretty much. And that's pretty much what you're doing, is staining the vinyl. Okay, so it's all wet. See that? See the red? It's all red. And we're pretty much just pouncing off the color. So let's go over here so you can see the color. See it's all pooling. So let's take up here. And you can sit there for a minute and let it set on there so it kind of soaks up into the vinyl. And we've already done the flesh layer, so it has the stuff on the vinyl to make it stick. You've already got a layer before this that has the flush layer. So it's going to stick fairly good. It's going to stick fairly good. And then after we do the red, we're going to do the same thing with the blue. And I'll show you, because I've already had it mixed, so I will show you how to mix it. We'll go over it real quick. And you want to make sure that you get all of the paint off. Go through with the little paintbrush with all the lines. This baby's got a lot of lines. And you just want to make sure that you are getting it all out. Okay, so you can see from here to here, you can see the color difference now, whereas before you really couldn't. So here's the arm. So you can see the red tint to it. So that's what you're going to do for the rest of the limbs. Okay, I am going to go do that, and then I will be back and show you the blue. Now the red, you can either use the light red or the maroon color depending, or you could do a purple because it's a preemie. I've chosen not to add purple to it because it makes it a lot darker, and that kit is already dark as it is, so I don't want to add any more purple. We're going to be doing purple and mottling, so it's fine. So you take your half a tablespoon of distilled water, put it in here, do a drop of your emulsion, put that in there, mix it up. You want to do this kind of more watery than we did the flesh. Okay, you want to see, you can see through it. See that? You can see through it. You want it like that. Okay, you don't want it thick. You just want it watery and red watery, see-through, because this will stain the vinyl. Okay, so I am going to finish doing that, those other limbs, and then we're going to do the same thing with blue, the blue. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, we finished with the red. The red, you can see the red tint throughout. Never mind this little person here in the way. But the red tint is on. So there we go. It's way cute. And I have no idea why I keep getting these little blemishes on the kit, and it does happen. You just need to take some water and Q-tip and just try to scrub it off, just make it blend in. And yeah, so here we go, all done. So this is the end of, see the red? You can see the red. So we are good with that, and we're off to do the blue layer. And we will see you then.